Yeah. Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share with friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Latest breaking news is that DSF has recovered an empty Pakistani boat in Satluj River in Firozpur, Punjab, just 50 kilometers from where PM Modi's cavalcade was stopped. All agencies have been alerted. All we can say as citizens is that a big calamity has been foiled. And you can see how low these people, the Pakistanis, can stoop in the story that is coming next. Pakistanis and their Indian agents, I repeat here, Indian agents, they share a manipulated video of a cabinet meeting to claim that Modi's government is planning to remove Sikhs from the Indian army. All of us know how much pride we have, in our Sikh brothers. They are the ones who have been always in the forefront whenever there was a war to protect India. And now look at the way Pakistan has joined hands with Indian agents, to build their own, sort of script, very similar to what I would say Javed Akhtar's script is. On Friday, January 7th, a propaganda Twitter handle of the Inter-Services Public Relation, ISPR, tweeted a doctored video to claim that the Indian government is planning to remove Sikhs from the Indian army. The development comes amidst the ongoing conflict between the centre and the Punjab government over PM Modi's security breach on January 5th this year. The Twitter handle, which goes as at Hey Anjali with three I's at the end, goes by the name of Anjali Kaur and claims Cabinet Committee on Security meeting Minister Anurag Thakur, S. Shankar, calls for removal of Sikhs from the Indian army. The said account was created in October last year and has about 987 followers at the time of writing. In the video, however, was heard advocating removing all the Punjabis from Indian army. All generals, all soldiers, remove all of them from top to bottom. The male voice can be heard saying. However, it is a doctored video because audio from a different source was added to the visuals of the cabinet meeting and it was not said during the meeting. The propaganda handle used visuals from a union cabinet meeting and superimposed an audio transcript from a clubhouse discussion. It was pointed out by several social media users on Twitter. Reportedly, the audio belongs to one Vikas Dubai, who had called for the removal of Punjabis from the Indian army during a clubhouse discussion over alleged bragging by community members. The audio clip was already being shared on social media, planning the suggestion by many people. But the Pakistanis went ahead and added it to a cabinet committee of security meeting to make baseless allegations against the Modi government. Journalist Shiv Arur dismissed the doctored video as laughable. He wrote, laughable fake rubbish in the form of morphed audio doing the rounds by bots. Wouldn't normally need to call out such obvious crap, but when the Khali Pindi desk is in overdrive, must step in. The original video dates back to December 9th last year, during which Prime Minister Modi held a high-level cabinet committee meeting in the aftermath of the death of CDS General Bipin Rawat. The official handle of the Press Information Bureau, PIB, had also debunked the claims made by the fake handle. A tweet referring to a viral video claims that in a cabinet committee meeting on security, there was a call for the removal of Sikhs from the Indian army. The claim is fake. No such discussion meeting has taken place. Bollywood actor Ranveer Shori pointed out how the anti-India propaganda was being disseminated by the use of identical sock puppet accounts. He tweeted, go through the TL of this handle, Hey Anjali, to get a taste of how propaganda wars are unleashed by enemies of India within and outside. Pathetic and dangerous doctored video that many gullible people will fall for. Please report all these accounts. So here you will see, Jaidev and the viewers, the kind of tricks that Pakistan and the Khalistanis are playing, to try to push an agenda in the world that India is against Sikhs. Indians have always revered Sikhs for their, for their what you call being valiant, for being some of the best, army veterans, and fighting bravely alongside other army. Now, they are trying to beat this so as to dismantle Punjab from India, and in this, Khalistanis have a hand with Pakistan. It's a very clear agenda. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, I would like to add to this doctored video, and I just given a link for deepfake technology where you can apparently perfectly morph a famous person's face onto another person's face, and even the voice can be as accurate. It was done to I believe Barack Obama. So we have done a video in the past with regards to deep fake technology, and
Yeah.
I have, yeah, this is the link to that particular video where we have discussed in detail the dangers of deep fake technology in the comments, so you can check that out.
Yeah.
And it's also in the taboo topics playlist section of Candid Meena.
Here also, Jaydev, before you go on to the next piece of news, I'd just
Yes.
like to tell the viewers that we've started another section called Money Matters,
Yes.
which Jaydev sort of, anchors. And it covers a lot of, area in money matters. And you're welcome to ask questions in this and also suggest topics that you would like to see covered. So this is now I think how many sessions are over, Jaydev? Around.
Around 4.
Yeah, four. So this is a daily show, and if you'd like to contribute to it, please do it, because consider this as your a part of your show. So please join in large numbers and help us to make this section even better. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, and we also give the latest financial news, and also we educate on people on new technologies like cryptocurrency, NFTs, and all the latest technologies, so that you are well aware of what is happening in the world.
Yeah.
So it is very brief video. It's like maximum, like say 20 minutes, but and it's not very technical, so you won't find it boring. So it is appealing for even the most common layperson, and I don't go much into the technical aspect of finance in any of these terms, like the financial terms. So yeah, coming to the next piece of news is that yeah, Sushant Singh Rajput's sister Shweta Singh Kirti, she recently, as you know, she is seeking justice for her brother, and she has recently appealed for justice in her latest social media post. She shared a video on her Instagram on that is today, and she made a fresh appeal for justice ahead of Sushant Singh's birthday, which is this month. She shared an emotional video in memory of her brother, and sharing the video, she appealed to the fans to paint the social media yellow in memory of Sushant. The video says that we'll fight for justice and we'll keep asking questions. In the video, Sushant's photo can be seen along with photos of his fans appealing for justice. So the song, the name of the song "Namo Namo Hey Shankara" from the movie Kedarnath can also be heard in the background. So yeah, I mean, like, but she has to be more active, and she has to really, I mean, sincerely, sort of, fight every day, like how we see Miss Rabia Khan fighting for her daughter since 9 years, like relentlessly. She's like never given up at any stage of her life. So we
So
want to
here,
see
Jaydev,
that kind of fight. Yeah.
yeah. So here, I somehow I do not just like what Savitri says. Somehow I don't
Mm.
trust SSR sisters, but I feel sad for his dad. This is a very similar feeling that I feel because each time this sister Shweta is trying to project herself as though she's going to go into the movie world or the modeling world. Now she's worn blue contact lens. It's not that see what you wear and what you don't wear, but somehow I think she looks very happy now. Usually, even we, I mean, even after 1.5 years, we are still mourning the death of SSR, and the earlier sort of clipping had her in a bathing suit, and where also she was trolled by people. So somehow we get the feeling that the sisters are least bothered about finding justice for Sushant. So it does bother us, but perhaps it may not be so as well. But this is the common feeling among people, and they should take it seriously and approach the Supreme Court for justice for Sushant by saying that what is the CBI doing? Now here, what I'd like to tell you, viewers, is that your letters have gone to both the Supreme Court judge as well as Sri Ramana, as well as to the Prime Minister. Now, let us see what is the kind of response that we will get for this. Because what we have very clearly said is that, see, the CBI needs to be pulled up for the inaction. And even if they're doing something, they need to inform the public what they're doing. Have they found anything? Has the investigation reached anywhere? Or are they still, lagging behind and saying that they're, waiting for Google to give them proof, of some WhatsApp chats? So this is something, I hope, friends, we'll get a proper response this time, from the Supreme Court as well. So, and we've got some very good letters from Runa and many of you who have written, detailed letters as to why we need justice and we need to get on with our lives. We need to put this behind us. We cannot continue in this way and think that India, has no justice system. Yeah. Okay. Back to the security lapse that happened in the Prime Minister Modi's Punjab visit. Prime Minister Modi's security breach. Let's talk about the updates. The Supreme Court today took up a petition seeking a thorough investigation into the security lapse during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Punjab on Wednesday. The plea filed by the NGO lawyers Voice has sought action against those responsible for the security lapse and appropriate directions to the Punjab government to prevent the recurrence of such an incident in the future. On Wednesday, PM Modi's cavalcade was stuck on a flyover in Punjab for nearly 20 minutes due to farmers blocking the flyover. Apparently, they say farmers, we don't even know who the protesters are, because apparently these protesters had already met the Chief Minister, Channi, and the police were also very gracious to give them tea and coffee. So this is all a very well planned thing. Private cars were also seen approaching the cavalcade, which was a major security lapse. 2 days after a major security breach, which left Modi ji stuck on a Punjab highway for 20 minutes. A video shows a group of BJP workers standing barely a few meters from the PM's car. In the clip, a group carrying a BJP flag is seen shouting slogans of BJP Zindabad while standing dangerously close to the Prime Minister's car. Black Toyota Fortuner on the other side of the highway. The car then moves away with the elite Special Protection Group, the SPG, personnel forming a shield. This is another example of a huge lapse in the PM security that day. Another video shows protesters sitting on the flyover at some distance from the Prime Minister's convoy. Farmers argue that the BJP workers got far too close to PM Modi than the protesters ever did. PM Modi was driving to a rally in Firozpur when his convoy was caught in the middle of a flyover with protesting farmers blocking the route. The BJP workers heading to the same rally were also stranded as traffic stopped. When they realized that the PM's convoy was also on the flyover, they tried to get closer to the car. Just before the Punjab election, the incident has escalated political sparring between the ruling BJP at the center and Punjab's ruling Congress. The center and the Punjab governments have announced separate inquiries. The center has accused the state government and police of violating security protocol, despite plenty of notice about his travel details. The Punjab government has alleged that there was a last-minute plan in which it had no role. PM Modi was to fly to the rally site by helicopter, but due to bad weather, decided to travel the 111-kilometer distance by road. Now, here what I like to say is that there are several things that makes us very suspicious. One of the persons, the eyewitnesses, who was also a part of the protesters, said that the police had informed them on which route the Prime Minister was going to go. Now, this is a very, very dangerous thing. How did the police leak out this information? Second thing is, Chani did not want to go in the helicopter ride with the Prime Minister. Now, why did he back out? Third thing, Chani said that he had his colleagues had COVID. Okay, but at the same time, he addressed a press conference way later after Sonia Gandhi spoke to him. Then at that time he didn't wear a mask, and at that time wasn't it important to follow COVID protocol? He never answered the Prime Minister's phone call. I mean, what is the meaning of all this? And after all this, Sonia Gandhi waits 24 hours before she decides to call the Chief Minister and ask him. You mean to say that Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are not aware of this? Of these plans? We all know that this has been a conspiracy. And if by God's grace, if Modi ji had not, they had not reversed and taken our Prime Minister back, God alone knows what would have happened. Because the car was stuck on a bridge for 20 minutes and very, very close to the Pakistan border. And now we hear that a boat was also there, very near to this location, a Pakistani boat. So what's the meaning? What was the plan? Congress has to be pulled up, and Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi also need to be questioned about this. See, all these chief ministers and all that, they are just small cogs in the wheel. The real people have to be questioned, and this cannot be taken lightly. The whole nation was upset and angry that no action was taken. Because if this can happen to the Prime Minister, it can happen to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Is this how safe India is? Back to you.
Yeah, they need to take action. Just 1 second. Yeah. The BJP government needs to take action and stop being passive. This is the most passive government I've ever seen, like in India. Like they just believe in diplomacy, but diplomacy doesn't work all the time. You need to take strong action. Like Modi needs to take a page out of past prime ministers like Narasimha Rao. A bit of Indira Gandhi.
Don't forget, Jaidev. Don't forget that so many prime ministers have died mysteriously. You're talking about Lal Bahadur Shastri. So many other people have died, and nothing has been done. So there is a deep conspiracy. And everybody knows this was really something that, it's so eerie, the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, he needs to take a page out of Narasimha Rao, in my opinion. Be a Chanakya.
Something has to be done, otherwise people will lose faith. Yes, back to you.
Yeah, coming to the next piece of news is Supreme Court panel summons Samir Wankhede harassment case. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes has asked Mumbai Commissioner of Police Hemant Nagrale to appear in person before Chairman Vijay Sampla on January 31st regarding Samir Wankhede's harassment case. It has also asked petitioner to remain present in the commission on the day of the hearing. While issuing written summons to Police Commissioner NCSC Director Kaushal Kumar on Thursday said, Chairman Vijay Sampla has fixed a meeting with you in person on January 31st in his chamber at Lok Nayak Bhavan in New Delhi. And accordingly, you are to appear in person along with an updated action taken report and all relevant documents, including the relevant files, case diaries to facilitate the hearing. The NCSC further recommended that the state government not to take any final decision in the matter till the investigation is pending with it. No final decision in the matters to be taken by the state government till the pendency of the investigation of the case in the commission. This is as per Commission's Rules of Procedure Clause 7.2. This is what the NCSC director said. Wankhede has been in the limelight, as we all know, with the Aryan Khan case and Nawab Malik and everything. So Wankhede has written to commission alleging harassment following disclosures made by Nawab Malik. Now, the minister had alleged that Wankhede was a Muslim and had secured a job claiming to be from the scheduled caste. Now, Malik had alleged that Wankhede's father's name was Dawood and not Nyandev. So it is sort of
Yeah. In fact, in this picture, what you actually see is that the NCB officials are, on his last day, Samir Wankhede
mhm.
is being honored by his colleagues. And look at the kind of respect they have for this great man,
Yes,
you know. And in a sense, I'm happy that he's out of this rut so that they can do the investigation without having to harass him or his family. But India has lost a very good, sort of what you call an officer because he's been moved to an area which is not very important for us. For us, drugs was the most important area. And we have lost a very good officer in that.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay. Moving back to another news. Arbas merchant is missing his friend Aryan Khan, and he's trying to request the court to waive off the condition of not meeting his best friend. Ever since Aryan Khan, along with Arbaz Merchant, came out from the Arthur Road jail on October 28th, the court had prohibited both the best friends from meeting each other. However, as per the latter's father, Aslam Merchant, the youngster has now decided to file an application to the court to waive off the condition. However, he won't mind visiting the NCB office every week, but he just wants the court to let them meet. For the unversed, apart from Aryan and Arbaz, six others were also arrested by Narcotics Control Bureau at a luxury cruise Cordelia in Mumbai on October 2nd. All the suspects were released after spending 1 month in custody. In a recent interview with media, Arbaz Merchant's father, Aslam Merchant, said, "My son is really missing meeting his closest friend, Aryan Khan, and therefore an application is being drafted to be filed in court to request to waive off the condition of not meeting Aryan Khan. My son said he does not mind visiting the NCB officials every week, but he wants to meet and speak to his friend Aryan. Even in Arthur Road jail, both Aryan and Arbaz were kept in different barracks. The two had remained best friends for a long time, as they have often shared pictures together on their social media accounts. In an earlier conversation with the same news portal, Aslam Merchant had revealed how Aryan and Arbaz aren't allowed to communicate. He told, "It's tough for him, but Arbaz told me he will follow the system. He said, 'Who wants to go back to hell? I will follow the court conditions religiously.' He is best friends with Aryan and will never do anything that will get him or Aryan into any kind of trouble. So they will stay away from each other." He even claimed that his son, Arbaz Merchant, has got a reality check after spending almost a month in Arthur jail. He said he has learned the real facts of life and the reality he saw inside the jail, the pitiful conditions of prisoners inside the jail cell. He has vowed never to come across any situation that may get him into trouble with the law. Now, see, this is very amusing because earlier, first you see that Aryan Khan was, given bail. Second thing is he was again, given told that he need not appear in front of NCB every Friday. Now the friend, it's like the camel. When the camel, the owner allows the camel into the tent, first his first his hands get in, and then his legs, the legs come in, and then the camel comes in completely and pushes his owner out. It's very similar to this case where both these boys think they can do anything and get away with it because they have money, they have power, and they have a government that is on their side. So you see how the father is saying that he doesn't mind, if his son has to continue going on Fridays to NCP. It's very strange. I mean, that's a law. You need to do it, And if you're not supposed to meet Aryan Khan, you can't meet him. What are you meeting for him for? Is that again drug related? Yeah, back to you, Jimmy.
Yeah, and it seems like that going to NCB offices like going to some shopping mall and or some
Yeah,
restaurant for them. It's like
yeah,
I mean, there's no level of accountability or anything because they have money, they have power, and
yeah,
everything, and the law unfortunately works well for the rich and powerful in India. as of now. So
Yeah.
unless there is, judicial reforms, it's going to be hard for innocent people to receive justice. Yeah. So coming to the next piece of news
Yeah.
is that Anushka Sharma is she is being cast as Julan Goswami, and a lot of criticism has been she has received with this regard. The film's name is Chakda Express, and she's playing the role of former Indian cricket captain Julan Goswami, and it tells the story of a woman cricket player, and she has returned to acting after 4 years, and a lot of their PR and a lot of their friends took to Twitter, and Farhan Akhtar wrote super stuff, looking forward to it, all the best. And if cricket is religion, why are men the only gods? So I believe all this sort of comments is coming from PR people who's hired by
Yeah.
Anushka.
Yeah.
And I mean, who will have how will she have fans? Like, she's not that great an actress, and especially with boycott Bollywood at its prime right now. Yeah.
Because the poster
Mm.
had the name Chakda Express.
Yes.
Someone removed the da d, so
Okay.
it read like Chaka because she has a very masculine face in the poster. So there was laughter about that as well. So it was as if it was Chaka Express, you know. So yeah, back to our good old friend Amir Khan, or rather Omicron. As Omicron soars, why US is open and Canada is shutting down? The difference partly comes down to arithmetic. The US health care system, which prioritizes free markets, provides more hospital beds per capita than the government dominated Canadian system does. As Omicron sweeps through North America, the US and Canadian responses couldn't be more different. US states are largely open for business, while Canada's biggest provinces are shutting down. The difference partly comes down to arithmetic. The US healthcare system, which prioritizes free markets, provides more hospital beds per capita than the government dominated Canadian system does. I'm not advocating for that American market driven system, said Bob Bell, a physician who ran Ontario's health bureaucracy from 2014 to 18 and oversaw Toronto's university health network before that. But I'm saying that in Canada, we have restricted hospital capacity excessively. The consequences of that are being felt throughout the economy in Ontario. In Ontario, restaurants, concert halls, and gyms are closed, while Quebec has a 10 p.m. curfew and banned in person church services. British Columbia has suspended indoor weddings and funeral receptions. The limits on hospital capacity include intensive care units. The US has one staffed ICU bed per 4,100 people, based on data from thousands of hospitals reporting to the US Health and Human Services Department. Ontario has one ICU bed for about every 6,000 residents, based on provincial government figures and the latest population estimates. Hospital capacity is only one way to measure the success of a health system. As Omicron sweeps through the North America, the US and Canadian responses could be more different. US states are largely open for business, while Canada's biggest provinces are shutting down. Back to you, Jerry.
Yeah. Now, coming to the next piece of news is that BlackBerry. Now, the BlackBerry phone, the classic BlackBerry phone. If you remember, at one point of time, that in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s, that everyone who works in office had a BlackBerry phone, and it was as popular as Nokia phone, if you remember. And this was before the touch screen came into existence. Now, on Tuesday, the BlackBerry company stopped running support for all the classic devices running the BlackBerry software. and this means all the old BlackBerry phones not running on the Android software will no longer be able to use data, send text messages, access the internet, or make calls. Now, while most mobile users have moved on from BlackBerry, the last version of its operating system launched in 2013, the decision to discontinue support for its phones represents the end of what was once considered bleeding edge technology. The company originally announced the news in September 2020 as part of its efforts to focus on providing security software. Now, BlackBerry's old school cell phones with physical keyboards from the late 1990s and early 2000s was once popular and nicknamed them as crackberries. The keyboards appealed to professionals who wanted the flexibility of working outside the office and with some of the tools they used on a desktop computer. Now, BlackBerry eventually gave up its own software, embracing Android and layering its security software on top. Uh, Eventually, BlackBerry phones in the past gained support for email apps, web browsing, and text messaging. But Apple's touchscreen revolution with the iPhone in 2007 made BlackBerry's offerings, appear lacking. BlackBerry indeed tried with touch screens and slide-out keyboard models, but with very little success. And that's how like the BlackBerry phone has come to an end. And so it's very interesting to see that at one point of time that in mobile phones, Nokia was at the top in early 2000s. Then BlackBerry took the market share of mobile phones, and after Apple launched the iPhone, then it has been a sort of war between Apple and Samsung in the mobile phone market, and which continues till date.
Yeah. Meanwhile, journalist Aarti Tikku Singh moves Delhi High Court against Twitter for blocking her account. Her account was locked after she had shared a video of Islamist extremists sending death threats to her brother. Co-founder of the news website The New Indian, journalist Aarti Tikku Singh has taken Twitter to the Delhi High Court for suspending her account, saying that her rights under the constitution were violated and Twitter was siding with Islamic terrorists by locking her account. She had filed the petition seeking to quash the decision of Twitter. The platform had suspended her Twitter account after she had shared a video of Islamist extremists sending death threats to her brother on December 15th, 2021. In a tweet tagging Twitter, she had alleged that Twitter India is allowing Pakistan-sponsored terrorists to use the feature Twitter Spaces to threaten Indians and hatch conspiracy theories against Kashmiri pundits. In the tweet, she had posted a screen recording of a session titled Stop Innocent Killings, where the members were seen targeting Sahil Tikku, Aarti's brother. Sahil, who is a resident of Srinagar, also happens to be the spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha's Jammu and Kashmir unit. While Twitter didn't take any action against the hate spewed on Sahil Tikku in retaliation, it took down the tweet by Aarti for violation of rules against the hateful conduct. Later on December 15th, her account was temporarily restricted from making further posts. Twitter then flagged the journalist's account, citing its rules against hateful speech, under which users are not allowed to promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease. Screen grab of Twitter's message asking Aarti to delete her tweet was shown in Republic World. As her Twitter account remains locked, she has now approached the Delhi High Court, asking the government to protect her fundamental right to speech and life. The plea filed through the advocate Mukesh Sharma stated that the manner in which her brother was targeted by some participants was reminiscent of January 1990. However, she was shocked to see that Twitter served her a notice for this tweet, saying it went against their rules on hateful conduct, the petition said. Tikku has said that the tweet very clearly did not incite violence or hatred against any community. as alleged by Twitter. Instead, she was reporting such an act against her brother. The petition said that by locking her account, Twitter is siding with Islamic terrorists. The petition said that Twitter's action violates her rights under Article 14, 19, and 21 of the Constitution of India and demanded that the decision of the social media company be quashed. In an interview with Republic, she said, I moved to the Delhi High Court with a writ petition asking the Government of India to protect my fundamental rights to speech and life. The government is answerable to me. It is not just about Aarti Tikku versus Twitter. It is about every Indian citizen whose freedom of speech is curtailed by Twitter on one pretext or the other. Sometimes it is whimsical, sometimes it is algorithm, and other times it is Twitter's own biases and prejudice against victims of Islamist terror. Sahil Tikku, to whom online threats continue to remain by Islamists, had filed an FIR with the Srinagar police on December 18th. In the video that emerged from the Twitter space, some members can be clearly heard targeting Tikku, calling him a collaborator and an agent, while pointing out his display picture with war criminal late General Bipin Rawat. Meanwhile, in Kerala, Bindu Amini, the first woman to enter Shabrimala, says she was attacked by a drunk fisherman in Kerala, and the activist blames RSS. Yeah, Jaydev, back to you.
Yeah. So coming to Bindu Amini, the first woman to enter Shabrimala, attacked by a drunk fisherman in Kerala, she has blamed RSS. Now, Bindu is the first lady to enter the Shabrimala temple in 2018. And apparently, she was attacked by a man in Kozhikode on Wednesday evening. Now, she has blamed the Hindu outfit RSS for this act. And the attacker was identified as a drunk fisherman, and he was arrested by the police. And the incident happened when she was on a beach where she had gone to meet one of her lawyers. The Dalit activist is the first lady who had entered into the sanctorum of the Shabrimala temple after the Supreme Court, in one of its most discussed and controversial judgments of recent times, which allowed the women of menstruating age to enter the temple as against the tradition of the temple. Now, Bindu has filed a complaint at the police in which she claimed that a man on the beach overpowered her and showered blows on her till she fell on the road. Now, Bindu said, I arrived on the beach to consult one of my lawyers. All of a sudden, a person came and blocked my two-wheeler and started abusing me and showered blows on me. He ran away while some of the onlookers intervened. The attack was recorded by nearby people on their mobile phones, and Bindu shared this on her social media account. Now, Bindu blamed RSS for targeting her and alleged that she is being attacked regularly for Shabrimala incident. She claimed that she has been attacked over 10 times so far. Sangh Parivar gave instructions to attack me in general. The police are safeguarding the assailants. The man who attacked me has only been charged with bailable offenses, and the Shabrimala incident has left me a target. So many people try to enter the temple. They are now targeting only me because of my Dalit identity. So this is what's
For those who don't know, see, she's one of the first few women to enter the Shabrimala temple on January 2, 2019, after the Supreme Court allowed the entry of female devotees of menstruating age inside the shrine. Now, this lady is known to be a mischief maker, the kind that you would find already, among the leftists. So she just, wherever she goes, she creates, sort of controversies just to get some attention. And also, perhaps she's paid by these people who try to convert, Hindus. So this is perhaps, she is doing, she has a mission in mind. Now, meanwhile, I would also like to speak about what FN has written. Meenaji, there are animated YouTube videos about 1 year back of the incident to assassinate our PM on the flyover. Conspiracy is clearly evident. It's very shocking, FN, that just before I came on the show, I watched the animation and I found it very, very eerie because this seems a very well planned, event, and to say that they are all shocked by it, is something one can't believe because it was all well planned. You show you the way they show him on the bridge, and the way he's being attacked by protesters, and how these trucks, and these road, what do you call them, the tractors, come from behind and corner him. I mean, this is ridiculous. If the intelligence agencies knew about it a year back, is this how we protect our prime minister? I don't understand. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So I'll just leave the lines open in case you'd like to join us. So let me just share, invite you. Yeah, that's the link in case you'd like to join us. Yeah. Aranya says, but Meena ma'am, Republic showed Bindu being attacked and thrashed by a half-taken man. Yeah, that's a fisherman, not a RSS person. That's exactly what happened. And see, there's a lot of anger, Aranya, by people because Shabrimala is a very, very revered temple, which has its own set of rules. So it's very important that we follow the rules, especially for Keralites all over the world. This is the ultimate. Going to Shabrimala is the ultimate, because I know my father went, my grandfather went, my brothers went, my husband went. So it's as if, if you go to this temple, whatever you pray for is granted. That's how strong the deity is. So if you start playing with our deities and our gods, naturally we will get angry. Who is this Bindu? Okay, you mean to say that she has only this one temple that she needs to go to? So it's all crap. She can go to any temple if she really wants peace. You need to go to a temple which does not allow women who are menstruating to go there. So it's ridiculous. Yeah. So let me just add two more people, Runa and Shashi.
Hi, Meena.
Hi,
Hi, Jaydev.
hi,
Hi,
Shashi.
Runa.
Sorry, my voice is not good. I'm still not well.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
you, Runa. See, your letter to both the Prime Minister and the Supreme Court judge, I read it in detail. It's excellent. Point by point, you have raised all the points. So we've sent all the letters by registered post to both the people, and let's see what is going to be, their response.
I'm very thankful to you, Meena. Like, it's really like heart wants to talk so much. So much is there within, but you've given the platform so that we can, at least
Yeah.
make that efforts to our voice to reach the Prime Minister. I
Yes.
should be thankful to you and Jaydev for it. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks so much.
You know what? I think our letter has gone, but then there is such a serious subject that has come with the security lapse. So probably it'll take a little bit of a backseat than expected
Yeah.
because that is obviously the priority. And you rightly said, like all those things. Why does she have to go to that temple? There are millions of temples. Why
Yes.
does she have to
And also
choose?
now, I think Shilpa has also made a point. This lady carried a sanitary pad into the temple. So the mission was very devious. To
Exactly.
create a sort of ruckus. Yeah.
And this is another efforts to kind of talk bad about our god and goddesses.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're actually following Sanatan Dharma, I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? Like, I feel this is because people are not educated in a right manner.
Yeah.
Sanatan Dharma is for
Yeah.
every being that has got a soul inside it. So God has not divided us into Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai. It's we have done it. Like I'm a Canadian, you're Indian, somebody is
Yeah.
American, so on and so forth, right? So if that knowledge is very clear, then instead of hating each other, we would love each other, we would
Yeah.
protect each other. And these are ignorant people, these are idiots who do not know anything. They are being educated with the wrong knowledge, and that is how they try to ruin the god and goddesses who is theirs too.
Yeah. Also,
It's
Runa, one more point that I'd like to speak because Aranya may not know this. Aranya, also one more point that I'd like to make here. The biggest mistake made by Republic was to endorse what this Bindu was doing,
oh
and
really?
yes, and see, I won't say that it's because of this, but people tend to suffer when they mock the gods, you know. So Arnab took a very strong stand in the Shabrimala issue.
I don't believe this, Arnav doing this.
Yes,
Honestly,
yes,
honestly speaking, after hearing Candid Meena for the past
yeah,
1 year,
yeah.
I do not hear any other channel because your channel gives all the information that one can
Thank you.
possibly hear. And I'm so grateful. I just chatted also some time back that I hit the like button before it starts because I know from start to finish, it's going to be full of information and you're covered, completely covered. Now,
Makes
coming
us feel good.
Thank you. Thank you so much for making that effort. It's not easy. I mean, it could be a half an hour, 45-minute show,
Yeah. In
but
fact,
at the
Runa, in fact, now Jaideep has started a section on money matters,
Bitcoins, yeah,
which covers all that deals with the money, to the layman as well as people who feel that all this is so complicated.
right. So I've commented also, Jaydev, you've done such a brilliant thing. And,
Thank
touching
you.
all these kind of unique topics, it makes it so interesting for the channel and for the viewers because you get everything on one platform. Thank you so much, Jaydev, for that. I'm
Thank
coming
you.
back to that god and goddesses. Like,
Yeah,
it must stop. They should stop. Because you see, I mean, in Hindi there was a kahavat, "Bhagwan ke lathi mein awaaz nahi hota." They will be vanquished, but they don't know about it. So don't make all the silly efforts of demeaning our god and goddess. It's not going to help you. It's only going to ruin you if that's what you want. So be
I don't know whether
intelligent.
you, I don't know whether you watched the show where we had Mayur speak about the
Yes.
Ghoris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He had also said that you remember. He said that if we make mock our gurus, so he also made a lot of fun about Swami Nityananda without really
Right.
knowing him, and trying to say that all those morphed videos were actually, his, and that he's done this and all that, when he didn't even actually know anything about Nityananda Swami.
Yes.
So Mayur said very clearly, you see, even today, what's happening to Asiva and so many other people, it's absolutely sad because the victims themselves are saying, there is no rape,
Right.
in all these cases, and still they're
Yeah.
put in jail, or
Yes.
they
I
have to
mean,
leave the country.
you know what? I mean, now that we have BJP, they have to be a little bit proactive in going against all these things and literally take action. I mean, I'm a little surprised, like, right, Jadi was talking about it also. Like, for everything, they are so quiet. They need to stand up for themselves and
Yeah,
for issues like this. I'm like ever grateful to the Prime Minister Modi for the temples that he's concentrating on. Along with that, these issues also needs to be addressed.
yeah.
You
See,
know,
for example, Runa, Amit Shah is asking for an apology from Sonia Gandhi. Have you ever heard this woman apologize to anybody?
exactly. I mean, one doesn't need to be so good if it's
So
not protecting
arrogant.
you.
This dynasty is so arrogant. They don't care two hoots about these brown skinned Indians.
Yes. I mean, and like, look at when the prime minister got attacked, where were
Yeah.
all these people? They were
Yes.
not in the country. They were
Not,
not even bothered. They're
yeah.
enjoying it rather. And BJP being in the power should take opportunity of situations like this and take strong action against them. I mean, nobody will have any face to object to BJP if they do take action at the right time. I don't know
See,
what
Runa,
principle they
see, the
follow.
very fact that, see, the weather was bad, Prime Minister did not get into the chopper, there could have been something else planned. Okay. And security would have already warned the Prime Minister. And that's how he would have changed the route, okay, the plan to go by road. And look at them. Before they even got the message, the police had already conveyed it to the protesters, who most probably would be Congresses, under Chani, who were given tea and I don't know what all snacks, maybe
Yeah,
even cakes and all that.
yeah.
See, this is a whole conspiracy to assassinate our leader.
Absolutely
There's
conspiracy.
no two doubts about it. And all these people should be arrested. I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah, absolutely. You will not believe it. I'll give you a little bit of incidents that happened here in
Yeah,
Montreal on 30th of December. There were youth who had a chartered flight and they went to
yeah,
Mexico. I don't know whether you know the news.
yeah.
And they are all the airlines have objected them to come back into the country. The prime minister is very upset about it. What I'm trying to tell you is with a small, it's not a small incident, but with an incident, even it goes to the prime minister, and prime minister is objecting to the whole thing. What was the objection? Because they were young people. They were like had a chartered flight. They were not following the COVID protocol. They were not wearing masks, and their proximity was too close and stuff like that. And they were just potting around in the plane while flying to Mexico. So there was a lot of issues going on. It has gone to the prime minister, and no airline was letting them come back to Canada from Mexico.
Yeah.
Some could come, and some are still detained. And so, what I'm trying to tell you is, an incident like this, it is an important thing, because I'm into COVID right now. Even after taking 2 doses of Pfizer, I'm still into COVID. So people are suffering, and with people who do not take the measures, we are suffering, right? So it is an important subject. But what I'm trying to compare the situation is, it has gone to the prime minister, and prime minister is commenting and objecting and saying there is a slap on face of every Canadian who is trying to follow the protocol, and so on and so forth. So the story goes on.
Yeah.
I'm comparing this situation with India. Indian prime minister. It's a most important thing as of today. Who was attacked? It was kind of an attack. God saved him. That was a different thing.
Can you imagine? See, the few minutes that he was in the car, he would have died 100 deaths.
Absolutely. And with a close proximity to Pakistan.
Yeah.
As you said, that there was a boat also waiting. There were so many things that could have happened. It's God only who saved him.
Yes, only God.
Only
Absolutely.
God.
There is
right?
nothing else we can say.
So when I give you this incident about Canada, what happened, and no airline is taking them back, and they will eventually come, but there's a harassment that is going on. But what is the BJP government, the BJP prime minister is attacked? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Is my question. I mean, why do they follow this principle of not commenting or not taking action? I mean, this way you will lose your votes. I think so.
Yeah. And the Supreme Court also says they'll complete the session on Monday. How long are they going to wait for this?
Exactly.
When it's a clear cut of conspiracy.
Clear. Are they waiting? Are they waiting for the eventuality to happen and then take action?
Very pathetic.
Very pathetic. And there's all this bogus movies coming up, and what is this girl, Anushka, whatever there. Who even cares? Nobody's going to watch them. Whether husband objects. We have boycotted Bollywood ever since Shashank passed away.
Yeah.
So we not even bothered, like, do what they want. I'm so happy. I mean, I don't want to be so mean, but I'm so happy that whatever that 83 movie and all went into a loss. Of course, ruin all your money and be as a common man. Then you will understand what Shashank went through. Then you will understand the pain of common man, what we go through every day. And you talked rightly about the sisters. Even I do agree.
Yeah.
I mean, we are so sad. Till today, who is Shashank to us?
We're still fighting. See, Runa, we have the job of compiling all the letters, putting them together, getting prints out of that, and then sending them to the authorities. Okay. And one of our viewers, Anuradha, she also helped me in doing this. See, it's a job. Okay. Now, it's not only that you need to register it to ensure that they do not say that they didn't receive it. Okay.
Yes.
All this is done.
Yes.
We are doing it. And we're not even sisters of SSR.
Absolutely. And our heart beats for him, and we want to fight for justice. We will fight till we get justice.
Yes.
I will just comment. Somebody has mentioned that PM Modi is not comparable with Justin Trudeau. Of course not. I mean, there is no comparison. What I'm trying to say is
the two incidents. You're talking about a situation that's similar.
I'm talking about a situation like this. People taking a flight, and that went to the PM of Canada, which has become such a big issue. So I'm comparing the situation, not the prime minister. We should take strong action because our prime minister was attacked. That's all I'm trying to say. Thank you so much. I've spoken to you for such a long time. I need to.
It's very interesting and very good points presented. I'm sure everybody agrees with what you've said.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll watch your session properly because Bitcoin, I just watched a little bit and I was sleepy. I'm going to watch it. Thank you, Jaidev. Please bring such topics. You're knowledgeable. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shashi? Yeah. Sorry.
Hi. Sorry for.
No, no problem, no problem at all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Meena ji,
Yeah.
Jai Hind. How are you both?
Yeah.
Fine. How are you, sir?
Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I am good. Yeah, yeah. So I'm good, thanks. Okay, coming to the security breach, I think, yeah, means, yeah, I don't know if I'm reading a bit too much, but very recently in Maharashtra, BJP won the cooperative bank
Yeah.
elections
Yeah.
as well, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this, but most of the cooperative banks, who are the major stakeholders from Maharashtra,
Yeah.
who are all into the sugar lobby and all that.
Yeah.
So I would not rule them out of this
Exactly.
conspiracy. Yeah, so it is not just Punjab, and we know that the Congress is one of the ruling parties in Maharashtra as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's one thing. So maybe if investigation has to be done, it has to be done maybe in two states. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what I would take that as. And I think one thing which Modi ji should surely start, yeah, or maybe even the BJP government is, even if Modi ji doesn't want to do it, I think the law should take its course now.
Yeah.
Simply because, yeah, I think we've been fighting for Sushant and so many others for
Yes.
1.5 to 2 years now.
Yeah.
So now it's coming to the prime minister, which is obviously a very big shame for a
Yeah.
party which has been elected into majority by the most of the countrymen.
Mhm.
But still, there are a few people who are high and mighty in power and all that who are trying to do this. They're trying to betray the trust of so many countrymen as such.
Yeah.
So I think BJP should take a united stand now in terms of bringing the law. Because the General Bipin Rao is also, yeah, we all know it is a sure shot murder, going by whatever reports,
Yes.
and of course, yeah, along with Sushant, so many others were killed actually. So I think it's high
Even
time action.
see, even the tweet saying that from Man Srinivas saying that, see, how's the Josh itself shows, see, which means that he's speaking for the Pakistanis, because we had bombed Pakistan, in retaliation to our army personnel being killed. Now
Hmm.
that was a retaliation by the Indian army. Now how can an Indian sitting in India say how's
Hmm.
the Josh? So which means, is he speaking for Pakistan?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
very
so
much.
he knew that this is a conspiracy.
So you remember that Sikh for Justice Pannu video, which
Yes.
was flashed last year as well and as well as this year,
Yes.
just before Modi ji was to enter Punjab. So I think, yeah, there is surely a Pakistani hand in this. Uh, but yeah, I still don't know how do they get the money to do all of.
Even maybe a Chinese hand also. You never know.
Yeah. You're really very much right. And but yeah, what I got to know is China is on the verge of a breakdown now in terms of, okay, just like how Russia happened, China also might go into pieces, is what I've heard,
Yeah.
because economically and
What
all
would
that,
have
yeah, they're
happened,
nothing.
Shashi,
Mhm.
is that,
Mhm.
see, first they would have perhaps planned the something in the helicopter, and that's why this Channi did not want to go in the same helicopter. That is one thing. Okay.
Yes.
Second thing is, when they changed the route,
Mhm.
immediately the people who, their own people, they would have alerted to say, to block the roads and bring the
Mhm.
tractors. Otherwise, they would
Yes.
not have known about it. Okay. And then
Yeah, that's been
Channi was
told.
most
That's
probably
been.
instructed not to
Mhm.
attend the phone call that when Prime Minister calls, so he can, stay safe. Then after that, after all this,
Mhm.
when Sonia Gandhi decides to call him 24 hours later, that's when
Mhm.
he, picks the phone, and then they get into action. You mean to say the
Mhm.
the head of the Congress, whoever, it can't be Rahul, it can be only Sonia Gandhi, because Rahul is half the time flying all over the world. So
Mhm.
you mean to say that this lady did not know what is happening?
No,
Are
no,
they not
no.
aware of what Sidhu is saying?
See, Miss, without them giving the go ahead, I don't think any of this would have
Nothing can
happened.
happen. Nothing can
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, very much, very much. Because there have been a lot of talks about Rajiv Gandhi as well. So I
Yes.
hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, when Indira Gandhi was assassinated, there was an inside hand which was supposed to have done this. R.K. Dhawan in
Yes.
those days
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a secretary. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, so all of this. See, Miss, my take is that, okay, if it's for to ensure that the security is not compromised, I think
Yeah.
it's not just the state government which has to be involved. I
Yeah.
think who are the BJP MPs also who should be doing that along with
Yeah.
the state government authorities, right? So means I don't know. In Punjab we have Sunny Deol. I don't know what he's doing as a BJP MP there of
Yeah.
Gurdaspur. Maybe he could have maybe gone there and then maybe done some checks, tried to see
See here, let me
because I
just make
think.
a point, Shashi. See, a
Mhm,
very well-known actor in Pakistan.
mhm,
He acts in telefilms. He said very clearly,
mhm,
"I don't want Narendra Modi to win the election because if
mhm,
he
mhm,
wins, we will not get jobs in India." Okay, so this is
mhm.
the attitude of Pakistan, and
See,
unfortunately, like you say, there are many moles in India who are supporting.
yeah, forget Pakistan actors. Even Indian actors, I don't know. Maybe 5 years down the line, they won't even have any jobs.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah, as you said, because see, once this happened, nobody even spoke about it. Nobody even condemned the event.
yeah, yeah.
Not
No,
one
means
actor.
no, means I'm saying if that Pakistani actor comes to India, what will you do? He will do films only. But with
No, no.
Bollywood
What
projects,
he
like
gets
I
films.
mentioned,
You know, these people get. You know, if Boni Kapoor comes into the scene, Boni Kapoor will give one Pakistani actor a role. You know, and he a singer a role. That's what was happening. You remember the last movie by Sri Devi on a girl on her daughter. Something about her daughter. I don't remember the name. So that was also with
maybe.
a Pakistani actor. See, there's been a very close connection between Bollywood and Pakistanis.
See, my take, Meenaji, is that okay, see, Bollywood won't survive like this for maybe more than 3, 4 years
Yeah,
now. Okay,
yeah,
simply because yeah, with so many films flopping, I don't think they'll go on to make more movies with losses. Yeah.
yeah.
So yes, that is why I'm asking them don't to shoot movies. So
Yes,
you
with
are wasting
Sajjad
their
Ali.
money.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah, yeah,
Mariam.
maybe I going so all of that. So that's the kind of thing. So, but yes, I think Modi ji, if not Modi ji, maybe somebody else could come in future also. But
Yeah.
this from a
Here,
tough
just
stand.
one
If
second,
it is.
Shashi. Let me just
Mhm,
make a point to Mariam, who's also from Pakistan. Mariam, see, it's not that we have a problem with the people of Pakistan. We're talking
mhm,
about politicians and we're talking about ISI. We have a problem with them. So please do not misunderstand. As with people, India and Pakistanis, we do not have a problem. It's the politicians and the
mhm.
army that's playing with India. Yeah, back
Yes,
to you.
see, the common citizens of India and Pakistan, they don't have a problem between
Yeah,
each other.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
If I have happened to go to the Wagah border and I see the
Yes,
citizens there are like us only, yeah.
yeah,
So they wave to us, we wave back to them. So all of that will happen. But yeah, it's at the leadership level where this problem is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, we
I would
believe.
like. Sorry, I would like to ask one question to Shashi sir.
Mhm.
Now, right now, Bollywood is piggybacking on the South Indian film industry. You know, like the famous South Indian film stars. So, do you think this strategy will work in the long run? Because South Indian film stars they have huge following. What do you think of this strategy by Bollywood?
See, South Indian films, my take is that okay, see, drugs are not, yeah, they're not total clean of drugs even there. Hyderabad, Riya Chakravarti went there, Siddharth Pitani used to work from there. So a lot of things are fishy there as well. And if you remember, about a couple of years back in Bangalore itself, the NCB raided a few places. So that way, a lot of things were not hunky dory. Uh, so that's I think Miss Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Means I haven't really heard of any such incident as such. But yeah, maybe it's time, okay, because if Modi ji has to clean the drugs, so it should be from everywhere. It should not be just from there. So maybe some infrastructure will have to be done in such places also. So then maybe there's a chance. But yeah, Mr. Piggybacking on South Indian, I really don't know how that will work. Because yeah, means if they might be bringing down the South industry also if at all they are taking that people will not watch those movies also if they know that okay maybe a Karan Johar or somebody else is involved in the South Indian project. Yeah, people might boycott even those movies also.
Yeah.
So that might
I
what
think,
could
yeah,
be the yeah the way forward. So on that's on that.
yeah.
And
On that
yeah,
note,
so
I
I
think,
think yeah.
yes,
Yeah, just one last point before I leave,
yes,
and
please,
I think
yeah,
it's high time that okay, Modi ji should yeah start cracking the legal whip.
yeah,
Maybe Kiran Rijiju should play a more active role now. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's
See, first of all,
yeah.
people like Kiran Rijiju should stop quoting people like Salman Khan, Akshay
Mm,
Kumar, and all
mm.
these, men from Bollywood, and show that
Mm.
they are important. They are nothing for us. They are nothing. I mean, I
Yes,
stress the word nothing. In fact, people hate to see them even in ads. because they've set the wrong example.
Yeah, if you have to get to zero crime, he should be playing a very, very active role in
Yes.
today's times. It can't be just Modi ji all the time. So that's why they have to strengthen Modi ji science is what I can say.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say, Minal. Thank you.
Thank you, Shashi, for joining
Thank
us.
you very much.
Yeah, and see you again.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.